Are you looking for a way to make your lunches more reusable? Wax food wraps are an awesome alternative to disposable food coverings, and they're super easy to make, and I'm going to show you how. To get started, choose a cotton fabric for your wrap. Canvas works really well, and I used flannel for this one. It has a great thickness to make my wrap stiff, but not too stiff. Cut in a square or rectangular shape. A good size to use for sandwiches is 10 inches by 10 inches. For this video, I'm using beeswax pellets. You can order them online for around $10. I happen to have some solid beeswax also that has been melted down previously, and I'll show you how to use this version later on. Our next ingredient is not absolutely necessary, yet it is the secret ingredient for making wax wraps that are tacky and clingy. Preheat your oven to around 200 degrees or as low as it will go. Next, cover your baking sheet with parchment paper to protect it from the wax. I used a sheet that is dedicated to crafting only and is no longer used with food. Sprinkle the beeswax pellets all over the fabric, taking care to cover it evenly, including all of the edges. Remember, you can add more later if needed, yet you don't want it to be too waxy. If you have the pine resin, sprinkle this in an even layer as possible. If there are large chunks, that's okay. These will simply create a more wet look on your fabric. Carefully place into the oven for about 5 minutes. Watch as your fabric becomes waxified. Take out of the oven and let it cool. You can let them dry flat or hang them up to dry with some clothespins. You'll also be able to tell pretty quickly if they are the level of waxy you're looking for. If not, simply repeat these steps. For the liquid method, I melt my wax in a glass jar by placing it in 2 inches of simmering water on low heat and painted it on with a paintbrush. Keep in mind, you'll want to use a paintbrush that you don't mind getting waxy. The key here is small dabs with the brush around your fabric, being careful not to saturate it. There is such a thing as too much wax. Again, sprinkle the resin if you are using it, and place in the oven for about 5 minutes. I found this method needed another layer on the opposite side of the fabric, so I flipped and repeated this step. There you go! To add a closure, find a button and some string. With the needle and string, sew the button to one corner, wrap a few times around the base of the button, and secure. Leave a long tail so you can test the length you want and trim as needed. Tie a knot at the end of the string to secure this. You can now use your wrap for sandwiches, fruit, leftovers, vegetables, fresh baked goods, or anything that you have that you need to store. Keep in mind, it's not recommended to store meat. After each use, you wash with warm soapy water and be ready to use this many, many times. Enjoy!